In a world that constantly urges us to share, to open up, to expose our lives to the digital world, there is something incredibly empowering about knowing when to keep certain things to yourself. Have you ever found yourself sharing something so deeply personal, only to regret it later? You might have experienced that rush of vulnerability, followed by the heavy weight of overexposure. In today's fast-paced, connected world, it's hard to escape the pressure to be open, to share every thought, every moment, with everyone around you. But what if the key to personal growth, authenticity, and emotional resilience lies not in oversharing, but in maintaining certain boundaries and keeping certain aspects of our lives private? In this video, we'll explore the profound wisdom of the Stoics and how keeping certain parts of your life to yourself can actually enhance your relationships, bring peace of mind, and drive success. If you've ever felt pressured to share more than you're comfortable with or wondered how withholding certain truths can empower you, stay tuned. This could be the perspective shift you've been looking for. Let's dive in. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find this valuable. I encourage you to watch this video all the way through. Sometimes, it's not the big ideas that change us, but the small realizations along the way. 1. Past battles. The power of letting go. We all have past struggles, failures, hardships, challenges that have shaped us. These experiences are an integral part of our journey, but constantly sharing or reliving them can keep us stuck in the past. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, a central figure in Stoic philosophy, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is a call to action, to stop rehashing old stories of suffering and pain. Instead, focus on the strength and wisdom you've gained from these experiences. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." The hardships we endure are like exercises for our emotional and mental resilience. However, it's important to remember that the wisdom we derive from our struggles is what truly matters, not the struggles themselves. Psychologically, revisiting past traumas or challenges often traps us in a cycle of negative thinking. This prevents us from fully appreciating our growth. Epictetus famously advised, "Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Focusing on the present allows us to honor the lessons learned from our past while embracing the present and its possibilities. Constantly revisiting past battles can only hold us back from becoming our best selves in the present. 2. Your goals. The dangers of over-disclosure. We've all experienced the excitement of setting personal goals. The desire to share our ambitions with others can feel empowering, but it can also be counterproductive. Stoicism teaches us to focus on actions rather than words. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This piece of advice is a reminder to be selective with what we share. When we reveal too much of our plans, we risk losing control over them. Sharing goals too openly can invite unnecessary interference, whether in the form of judgment, advice, or even sabotage. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most esteemed Stoic philosophers, took this even further when he said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Instead of telling others about your goals, show them through your actions. It's through results that you inspire and make an impact, not through empty promises or grand declarations. Psychologically, studies have shown that talking about your goals too early can create a false sense of accomplishment. When we vocalize our intentions, our brain gets a dopamine hit, which can trick us into feeling like we've already made progress. This phenomenon is called social reality, where our self-image becomes tied to what we say, rather than what we do. In the words of Carl Jung, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." Let your actions speak louder than your words. By keeping your goals close to your chest, you maintain control and ensure your energy is focused on the hard work needed to bring them to fruition. 3. Happiness. The art of quiet contentment. Happiness, an internal state that, according to Stoicism, comes from mastering our minds, doesn't need to be broadcasted for validation. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that the quality of our life depends on the quality of our thoughts, not the applause we receive from others. True happiness isn't about showing off or explaining how happy we are. It's about being content with our inner state. It's something deeply personal and, as Carl Jung once said, the word happiness would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. The Stoic perspective on happiness is that it's not a permanent state of euphoria, but an internal peace that arises from within. It's about living a life in accordance with virtue and inner tranquility, not relying on external validation or recognition. By keeping our happiness private, we protect it from the judgments and expectations of others. Happiness is not something to be displayed like an ornament. It's something to be nurtured quietly and maintained within. 4. Relationship privacy. The beauty of discretion in our relationships, particularly romantic ones. Privacy is sacred. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus stress that our focus should be on what is within our control, and we should embody our principles rather than explain them. When it comes to relationships, especially romantic ones, Marcus Aurelius' advice resonates. Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. This reflects the idea that the most beautiful moments in life often occur in private, away from the prying eyes of the world. Carl Jung also believed that relationships are transformative experiences, and exposing them to excessive external scrutiny can change their essence. Just as a chemical reaction happens in private between two substances, a relationship is a unique bond that evolves in its own time and space. This doesn't mean being secretive or dishonest, but instead choosing to guard the intimate moments shared with someone special, allowing those moments to flourish without outside influence. 5. Financial status. The pitfalls of transparency in Stoic philosophy. Wealth is not measured by what we have, but by how little we desire. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The Stoics placed more value on contentment with what you have than the pursuit of more material wealth. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that true peace comes not from outward displays of success, but from inner harmony. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. In today's society, we often feel compelled to discuss our financial status to measure success, but flaunting your wealth can attract judgment, envy, or false expectations. True wealth lies in understanding that material possessions do not define your worth. Carl Jung also noted that our external displays, like wealth, can reveal deeper unconscious motivations. By keeping financial matters private, we shield ourselves from unnecessary social comparisons and judgments. 6. Trust and secrets. Protecting what's sacred. Trust is the cornerstone of any deep relationship. When someone shares a secret with you, it is a sacred act. Epictetus famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen more and talk less." By keeping the confidences entrusted to us, we honor the relationships that matter. Marcus Aurelius also believed in the power of action over words. In the realm of trust, this means showing through your actions that you are reliable and capable of keeping others' secrets. Trust isn't something you announce, it's something you embody through integrity and discretion. Aristotle's thoughts on friendship emphasize the importance of mutual respect and trust. A friend is one soul in 2 bodies. True friendship is about safeguarding each other's privacy and nurturing the bond quietly, without the need for validation from the outside world. 7. Your values. Staying true to yourself in a world of noise. One of the most challenging aspects of living a virtuous life in the modern world is resisting societal pressure. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius consistently emphasized the importance of adhering to your values, no matter what others think. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This is the essence of staying true to your personal beliefs, regardless of external pressure. Aristotle's idea of eudaimonia, living a life in accordance with virtue, suggests that true fulfillment comes from living by our own values, not by conforming to the expectations of others. Carl Jung also agreed, emphasizing the importance of individuality and becoming who you truly are. By staying true to your core values and keeping them to yourself when necessary, you avoid the distractions of public opinion and focus on what truly matters in your life. In a world that constantly urges us to share, there is great power in knowing what to keep private. Through the wisdom of Stoicism and the insights from great philosophers, we can learn to protect our peace, maintain control over our emotions, and build stronger, more authentic relationships. Remember, true strength lies in self-mastery and in being able to preserve the sanctity of certain parts of your life. So, keep some secrets, embrace the power of privacy, and live a life that is deeply rooted in your true self. Thank you for joining me today on this journey toward a more balanced, stoic way of living.